Far from Earth, in a distant part of the galaxy, there was a planet called Lyra. It was home to a powerful and wise alien race known as the Illyrians. They were tall, graceful beings with bright eyes that seemed to hold the light of stars. For many thousands of years, the Illyrians had lived in peace, learning about the universe and guiding other planets. Many species saw them as gods because of their knowledge and power. One day, deep beneath the surface of Lyra, something unusual was found. A group of Illyrian explorers digging in the ancient ruins discovered a strange object buried under layers of rock. It looked like a glowing cube made of a metal no one recognized. The cube pulsed softly with light, showing strange symbols that no one had seen before. The Illyrian leader of the expedition, named Kale, carefully held the cube. He felt a strange warmth coming from it. The symbols on the cube reminded him of stories his ancestors told, stories about the beginning of time and the creation of life itself. Kale called for the best Illyrian scholars and scientists to study the cube. They gathered in a large hall filled with light and advanced machines. The scholars were excited but also nervous. No one knew where the cube had come from or what secrets it held. The Illyrian scientist named Lyra stepped forward. She was curious and brave, known for her sharp mind and calm heart. "This object is not like anything we have found before," she said. "The symbols look like writing, but they do not match any language in our records. It feels ancient and somehow familiar." The scholars worked day and night trying to unlock the secrets of the cube. As they studied, strange things began to happen. The cube sent out waves of energy that made the Illyrians feel different, almost as if memories from another time and place were touching their minds. One night, Lyra stayed late in the lab. She watched the cube glow and suddenly saw images in her mind. She saw faces, strange faces with soft skin and eyes full of hope. She saw people working with machines and computers, building something important. The images showed a place with blue skies and green trees. Lyra recognized it from ancient Illyrian legends. It was Earth, the home world of humans. But humans were thought to be a simple and young species, far behind the Illyrians in technology and wisdom. Lyra was confused. Why would the cube show her images of Earth? Why did it feel like the humans had a connection to the Illyrians? The next morning, Lyra shared her experience with Kale and the other leaders. "This cube is telling us a story," she said. "A story about humans and our own beginnings. I believe we were created by them, by the humans." The room was silent. Many found this idea strange and difficult to accept. How could humans, who seemed so small and unimportant, be the creators of the Illyrians? For centuries, Illyrians believed they had grown naturally from their world and the stars. Kale looked thoughtful. "If this is true, it changes everything we know about ourselves and the universe," he said quietly. "We must learn more." The Illyrians decided to send a message to Earth, hoping to find answers. They built a powerful transmitter and sent a signal into space using the symbols from the cube. The message was simple: "We are your creations. We want to understand our past." Far away, on Earth, the signal traveled through the vast darkness of space. Scientists at a secret research base picked it up. They were surprised to find a message that matched ancient human writing, words from a language long forgotten. Dr. Emily Carter, a linguist and expert in ancient cultures, led the team. She studied the message carefully. "This is unlike anything we expected," she said. "It is a call from the stars, from beings who believe they were made by humans." The scientists debated what to do next. Should they answer? What if these beings were dangerous? But Emily believed this was a chance to learn something amazing about humanity's place in the universe. Back on Lyra, Kale and Lyra waited anxiously for a reply. The discovery of the cube had already begun to change their society. Some Illyrians felt pride, knowing they were part of a grand plan made by humans. Others felt fear, worried that their identity as gods was a lie. At the same time, a small group of Illyrians began to study human history and culture through the data stored in the cube. They learned about human creativity, struggle, and hope. They saw humans were not just simple beings. They were builders of worlds, explorers, and dreamers. The cube began to glow brighter every day, as if encouraging the Illyrians to unlock more memories. Kyle believed that the truth was waiting, hidden deep within the past. "We are not alone," he said. "Our story is connected to a greater one, and we must find it." As the days passed, tension and excitement grew. The Illyrians stood at the edge of a new age where old beliefs would be challenged and new friendships might be made. Far away on Earth, the scientists prepared to send a reply. The universe was listening. The mystery of the cube was only the beginning. On Earth, the night sky was calm and clear. Stars twinkled like tiny lamps scattered across a dark velvet curtain. Deep underground, in a secret research center known only to a few, a team of scientists worked quietly but with great excitement. They had just received a signal from space, a strange, patterned message unlike anything before. Dr. Emily Carter, the lead scientist, stared at the screen. The symbols blinking there were not random. They resembled old human scripts, but no one alive remembered how to read them. For years, Emily and her team had studied ancient languages and lost codes, hoping to find something new about humanity's past. Now it seemed that something had found them. This message, "It's definitely from intelligent beings," Emily said softly. "But they say something impossible. They believe humans created them." Her assistant, Jason, raised his eyebrows. "Created them? Like humans made aliens?" Emily nodded slowly. "Yes. It sounds strange, but the symbols match an ancient project humans started long ago. A project to spread life across the stars." The idea was unbelievable, yet the evidence was hard to ignore. For decades, Earth's scientists had guessed that humans might not be the first to explore space or create life beyond their planet. But now, an alien civilization was reaching out, saying the truth was much deeper. The team began to decode the message more carefully. It contained star charts, maps of galaxies, and descriptions of technologies lost to time. The aliens called themselves the Illyrians, and they claimed to be descendants of human experiments from millions of years ago. Emily felt a mix of wonder and fear. If this is true, we must respond. We have to meet these Illyrians. But not everyone agreed. The government officials overseeing the project worried about the risks. What if they are dangerous? What if they are gods or monsters? Emily looked around the room. They are scared, yes, but so are we. This is the chance to learn more about ourselves and the universe. We can't ignore it. After long debates, a decision was made. A carefully written reply was sent back through space using the same ancient symbols. The message was simple and peaceful. "We hear you. We want to know more." Back on Elira, the Illyrians waited anxiously for a reply. The cube, the strange relic that started all this, glowed brighter than ever before. It seemed alive, as if it shared their hope and fear. Kyle, the Illyrian leader, stood before a large council. "Our creators are real," he told them. "They are humans from a distant planet. They sent us this message. Soon we will meet them." Some Illyrians were excited. Others were unsure. To many, the idea of humans as creators was hard to accept, but they could not deny the evidence. The relic, the visions, and now the signal from Earth, all pointed to one truth. Lyra, the scientist who first saw the visions, spoke calmly. "We must be ready. This meeting will change everything." Meanwhile, on Earth, Emily and her team studied the signal further. They learned about the Illyrians' culture, their technology, and their history. The aliens were advanced but also curious, eager to understand their origins. Emily often thought about the humans who had started the ancient project. Long ago, Earth's early scientists had created machines and biological experiments designed to seed life on other planets. The Illyrians were the most successful of these creations. One evening, Emily stood outside looking up at the stars. "They are out there," she whispered. "And they want to know us." The world had no idea what was coming. The discovery was too big for most people to imagine. But for Emily and her team, the universe had suddenly become a smaller, more connected place. As the Illyrians prepared for contact, strange changes began on their planet. The cube revealed more memories, visions of human scientists working in vast laboratories, watching over the early Illyrians as they grew and learned. One vision showed a human woman gently placing a small Illyrian child in a garden filled with glowing plants. "Protect and guide them," the woman said, "for they carry the future of many worlds." These memories gave the Illyrians hope. They realized they were not abandoned, but part of a greater plan, an experiment to spread life, wisdom, and peace. Across the stars, Kale gathered the Illyrian people. "We are not gods," he said. "We are children of humans. This truth is not a weakness, but a gift. We carry their legacy." Far away, Earth's scientists received another signal, a star, map leading to a meeting place between the two civilizations. It was a safe zone, a neutral world where humans and Illyrians could meet face to face for the first time. Emily prepared for the journey, knowing it was the most important moment in human history. "We will meet our children," she said, "and, together, we will write a new story." The stars seemed brighter that night, full of promise and the possibility of new beginnings. The day had finally come. On a quiet, neutral planet far from both Earth and Illyra, two groups prepared to meet for the very first time. The planet, named Virelia, was peaceful and beautiful, with soft blue skies and green fields stretching as far as the eye could see. It was chosen because neither humans nor Illyrians had any special claim there. It was a place for new beginnings. Emily Carter stood in the human shuttle, her heart beating fast. Around her, scientists, diplomats, and security personnel prepared for the historic meeting. She looked out the window, imagining the Illyrians, tall, graceful beings who had lived for thousands of years, believing themselves to be gods, now learning the truth about their creators, humans. On the Illyrian side, Kale felt a similar mix of excitement and fear. For centuries, the Illyrians had thought themselves the highest beings in the universe, with the power to shape worlds and destinies. Now they faced a truth that shook their beliefs. They were created by humans, a species they once considered simple and young. Kale stood tall before his people, preparing to meet the humans. "We will meet our creators with respect and hope," he told the Illyrians. "This is a moment that will change everything." The Illyrians had spent months studying the relic that started this journey, the glowing cube filled with memories. These visions were clearer now. They saw humans working with machines, carefully building life forms, teaching them how to think, feel, and grow. One memory showed a human scientist holding a small creature's hand, smiling kindly. The message was clear. The humans had cared deeply for their creations. They had hoped their children would one day grow strong and wise. As the human shuttle landed on Virelia, the Illyrians were already waiting. Tall figures in flowing robes greeted the newcomers with calm, curious eyes. Despite the tension, there was no fear, only the weight of history and the promise of understanding. Emily stepped forward, meeting Kale's gaze. For a moment, words were not needed. They both understood the significance of this meeting, the meeting of creator and creation. Kale spoke first. "We have lived many lives believing we were gods, rulers of our destiny, but the relic showed us the truth. You, humans, are our makers." Emily nodded. "We sent you into the stars long ago. We wanted life to survive, to grow, to explore. You are the greatest part of that dream." The Illyrians listened carefully as humans shared their own stories, of Earth's history, the ancient project to spread life, and the hope that one day their creations would connect with them. Some Illyrians felt pride, others confusion. For many, this was a shock to their identity. But as they listened, a new feeling grew, a sense of family and purpose. Lyra, the Illyrian scientist, stepped forward. "The memories in the cube are our history, but also our guide. We must learn from you, grow together." Over the next days, humans and Illyrians exchanged knowledge. Humans showed their technology, advanced machines, but also simple tools of care and growth. Illyrians shared their own wisdom, the art of peace and exploration. Together, they discovered that their strengths were different but complementary. Humans brought creativity and a deep connection to their home world. Illyrians brought patience, experience, and understanding of the universe. During a quiet moment, Emily and Kyle stood on a hill overlooking Verelia's gentle landscape. "We are not so different," Emily said softly. "No," Kyle replied. "We are two parts of the same story. You gave us life, we have made our own path. Now together, we will face the future." The meeting was not without challenges. Some Illyrians struggled with accepting their origins. Some humans worried about their responsibility as creators. But both sides knew that truth was the first step toward trust. As the days passed, the bond between humans and Illyrians grew stronger. They began planning joint missions to explore new worlds, to protect life, and to share knowledge across the stars. The cube's glow dimmed, its purpose fulfilled. It had brought two worlds together, revealing a truth too powerful to ignore. At night, under the stars, Emily thought about the journey ahead. This was more than science or discovery. It was the story of life itself, of creation, hope, and the endless drive to connect. Kale returned to his people with a new vision. "We are not alone. We are part of a family that stretches across the galaxy." The Illyrians looked up at the stars with wonder and new purpose. They were no longer gods, alone but children of humanity, and that was a gift. The universe had grown smaller, brighter, and full of promise. After the historic meeting on Verelia, the Illyrians and humans returned to their homeworlds with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. The truth, that the Illyrians were created by humans, had spread quickly through Illyrian society. This news was like a storm, stirring deep feelings and questions. Kyle, the Illyrian leader, faced many challenges. Some Illyrians accepted the truth with pride, seeing themselves as part of a larger family that stretched across the stars. Others felt anger or fear. To many, their old beliefs were shaken, and some even denied the evidence. In the grand halls of Illyra, debates filled the air. Some Illyrians believed that knowing their origins made them less special. They had lived for millennia thinking they were gods, but now they wondered if they were just experiments. Others argued that this truth was a strength, a chance to grow. Beyond old myths, Kale spoke often to his people. "We are not less because we were created. We are greater because we understand our place. We are children of humans, and together we carry a legacy of hope." Lyra, the scientist, worked with scholars and historians to share the memories stored in the cube. These visions showed the care humans had given their creations, teaching and protecting them. This helped many Illyrians see their past in a new light. Meanwhile, on Earth, news of the meeting had reached the public. Governments and citizens were both curious and cautious. Humanity was proud, but questions remained. What responsibility did humans have toward their creations? What did this mean for Earth's future? Emily Carter became a voice of calm reason. "We created the Illyrians to carry life forward," she explained at a press conference. "They are not just our creations, they are our partners." This discovery changes how we see ourselves and the universe. Not all humans agreed. Some feared that revealing this truth would upset the balance of power on Earth. Others worried about the Illyrians' advanced abilities and what they might want. As the world debated, a small group of humans prepared to join the Illyrians on their home planet. They hoped to build a lasting friendship and work together to explore new worlds. This mission was called the Unity Project. Back on Illyra, Kale met with his council. "We must be ready for challenges ahead," he said. "Some will resist this truth, but our future depends on trust and cooperation with humanity." The Illyrians began to study human culture more deeply. They found stories of creativity, struggle, and kindness. They learned how humans had faced their own challenges and how those experiences shaped their decisions. One day, a group of Illyrian youths visited Earth through a special portal created by both species. They walked among humans, curious and eager, to learn. They saw cities full of life, people working, laughing, and dreaming. One young Illyrian named Sari stood in a busy park watching children play. "They are so full of hope," she said quietly. "We come from them, but they still teach us." On Earth, humans welcomed the visitors with kindness. Many were surprised to see beings they once thought were gods, now learning and growing like themselves. But not all encounters were easy. Some humans were afraid or suspicious. Some Illyrians found human customs strange or confusing. Yet, through patience and openness, bridges were built. Meanwhile, a new discovery stirred excitement. The cube revealed a message hidden deep within. Its core, an original plan left by the ancient human creators. It explained why the Illyrians were made, to be guardians of life, to protect the universe from darkness and chaos. This message gave both humans and Illyrians a new mission. They were not only family but partners in a great responsibility. Together they would explore the stars, seek out new life, and defend the fragile balance of the cosmos. Kyle addressed his people once more. "We are not alone in this universe. We are part of a story that began long ago and will continue for many generations. Our future is bright because we stand united." On Earth, Emily looked up at the night sky and smiled. "We are all connected," she thought, creators and creations bound by hope and the desire to build a better tomorrow. The universe seemed full of possibilities, and for the first time in a long time, both humans and Illyrians believed they could face whatever came next. Together. The day had come for the first joint mission between humans and Illyrians. They called it the Great Convergence, a symbol of their new bond and shared future. It was a mission to explore a mysterious star system at the edge of their combined knowledge, a place where strange energy readings had been detected. On Earth, Emily Carter stood on the launch platform, watching the sleek ships prepare to leave. She felt the weight of history pressing on her shoulders, but also the thrill of discovery. Beside her, scientists and diplomats shared hopeful smiles. This mission was more than exploration. It was the first step toward building a lasting friendship between two great civilizations. Far away on Lyra, Kale and Lyra oversaw the preparations. Illyrian pilots checked their ships carefully, and scientists made last-minute adjustments. The Illyrians carried with them the wisdom of thousands of years, but they also felt the excitement of a new adventure. As the ships lifted off from their home worlds, humans and Illyrians stood together in the command center on Virelia. The stars seemed to welcome them, shining brightly as the ships raced toward the unknown. The journey was long but filled with learning. Humans and Illyrians shared stories, laughter, and hopes. They discovered that their differences made them stronger. Where humans were creative and bold, Illyrians were patient and wise. When they reached the star system, the crew was amazed. Strange shimmering lights danced around the planets, and the energy readings were unlike anything they had seen. The system seemed alive, full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. The team landed on the largest planet, a world covered in forests and oceans. It was a place of breathtaking beauty, but also mystery. Sensors detected ancient structures buried beneath the surface, evidence of a long-lost civilization. As humans and Illyrians explored the ruins, they found symbols similar to those on the cube, signs of a connection between many species across the galaxy. It was proof that life had been shared, cared for, and protected for ages. One day, while examining a large stone tablet, Lyra made an important discovery. "This writing tells a story of a great danger," she said. "A darkness that once threatened to destroy life everywhere." Kale studied the tablet closely. "It speaks of a force beyond our understanding, but also of guardians, beings chosen to protect the universe." The message was clear. The Illyrians and humans were not alone in their mission. Others had walked this path before, and their legacy was a warning and a guide. Back on Virelia, the news of the discovery spread quickly. It united humans and Illyrians even more. Together, they began to plan how to protect life in the galaxy from any threat. Emily and Kale worked side by side, leading a new council that included both humans and Illyrians. Their goal was simple but powerful: to create a force of explorers, scientists and defenders who would watch over the stars. This new alliance faced challenges. Some planets did not want outsiders. Some old fears remained. But the trust between humans and Illyrians grew stronger with every mission. One evening, as the council met under Virelia's twin moons, Emily spoke softly. "We have come far, but the real journey is just beginning. Together we can build a future where all life is safe and free." Kyle nodded. "We are no longer separate. We are one, creators and children, partners and friends." The great convergence was more than an event. It was the start of a new era. Humans and Illyrians looked at the stars not as distant points of light but as homes to be cared for. As the ships returned from the mission, the crew carried with them new hope and purpose. They had seen the power of unity and the promise of what was possible. On Earth, Emily watched the sunrise and felt a deep sense of peace. "We are part of something greater," she thought. "And together, we will face the future with courage and hope." The stars shone brighter, filled with endless possibilities. The story of humanity and the Illyrians was far from over. It was only beginning. The years following the Great Convergence were filled with change. Humans and Illyrians worked closely, sharing knowledge, culture, and technology. What had once been two separate civilizations now moved forward as one. Their combined strength brought hope to countless worlds. On Illyra, the old fears about being created by humans began to fade. Illyrians embraced their shared heritage, understanding that being made by another did not make them less. It made them part of something larger, a family that spanned the stars. Kale stood on a high balcony overlooking the city of Illyra's capital. The sky was painted with the light of multiple moons and distant stars. He felt the weight of his people's history, but also the lightness of new beginnings. "We are more than gods or creators," he said quietly to Lyra beside him. "We are partners, and together we will build a future worthy of both our worlds." Lyra smiled. "The cube showed us the past, but now it is time to look forward, far away on Earth." Emily Carter stood before a crowd of young students eager to learn about the stars. She told them stories of Illyrians and humans working together, stories of courage, friendship, and discovery. "We are all connected," she said. "Our differences make us strong. Our shared dreams will carry us into the future." The Unity Project had grown beyond its first mission. Joint human-Illyrian teams explored new galaxies, seeking out life and protecting worlds from threats. They built space stations where scientists of both races worked side by side. One such station orbited a vibrant blue planet. There, humans and Illyrians discovered a species on the edge of extinction. Together they helped the species recover, teaching them about cooperation and peace. The story of this rescue spread quickly, inspiring others across the galaxy. It was proof that the legacy of creation was also a legacy of care, but challenges remained. Old prejudices sometimes surfaced. Not all beings welcomed the new alliance. Some feared the power of humans and Illyrians working together. In response, the Unity Council worked harder to build trust. They sent ambassadors to distant worlds, shared knowledge freely, and opened their doors to all who sought peace. Kyle and Emily often spoke of hope. "We must remember," Kale said, "that the greatest power is kindness." Emily agreed. "And the greatest strength is unity." Together, they organized the first Galactic Festival, a celebration of life, diversity, and friendship. Species from hundreds of worlds gathered to share culture, art, and stories. The festival was a symbol of the new age, an age where creation was not about control but about connection. As the festival lights danced across the stars, Kale looked at Emily and smiled. "This is the dawn of something truly great." Emily nodded. A future built not on power but on love and respect. The universe felt alive with promise. The story of humans and Illyrians was a beacon to others, a sign that even the greatest mysteries could be solved with hope and cooperation. And so, beneath the vast sky of stars, two civilizations once separated by time and space now stood, united, ready to face whatever the cosmos might bring. Together, they looked forward to the endless adventure of life.